Do you have a chance to see my presentation?
Yes.
Okay. Is everybody okay? I will start right now. Okay. As introduced my co-chairs, I'm the Dr. Simsar. I'm working as an assistant professor in Kilis Aralik University, which is one of the Turkish university. My interest is science education in early childhood level. That's why I would like to share one of my interesting study about minority children. When I call minority, you can easily think about Syrian refugee children. Okay, wait a second. Yes. As I see that they do not understand me, I usually do. Like many early childhood teachers in Kilis start these sentences and finish most of them what they do during teaching science in their classroom. And even if some of them they have a lack of knowledge about how they can teach in bilingual children, they do and they try some things for teaching science and also for teaching other activities. According to the UNICEF, this was the 2019 report. More than 11,500 Turkish and Syrian children benefited from home-based early childhood education programs. It means that they give early childhood activities for Syrian refugee children, and nowadays this number are increased. And I would like to show you how many Syrian refugee numbers in Turkey. And this is the 2019. It's about 3 billion 6,900 or something like that. You can see easily. And for 2020, 2021 reports I already saw yesterday, and it was about similar numbers also for refugee of Syrian people. And here is the how many children we have in Turkey. You can easily see that how many of them in educational, informal education, and how many of them is out of schools in here. I'm going a little bit fast because I don't want to take more time of other presenters. Like, I would like to tell a little bit about early childhood education and why it's important. In early childhood education, children improve their cognitive, social, language, and physical development during this time. And this education is really important for also Syrian refugee children or minority group because we at the same time we can give a equal education for all of the our children. And during this time also children can improve their language skills. What about Syrian children in early childhood education? Most of the researchers stated that language problem is the biggest issues while teaching in classroom. And also, some of the researchers touched the emotional and behavior problems, and also they highlighted the language problems again. In one of my another study, we also saw the school adjustment problems. Probably it's about still touching the language barriers. In another study, also they highlighted the biggest issues as a school adjustment too. Teaching science in early childhood education, why I am touching the science? Because science give the, like, science looks like the mathematics. It's the like a word language I can easily say. Like when I see the moon, maybe you can describe with your language in different, but we are talking about the moon. I use the different words, you are using the different words, but we are still thinking the similar things. It is also looks like this same for stars, animals, other life science contents, and also earth and space science contents. And from these science activities, children also improve their observing skills, classifying skills, communicating skills, which is also help for us improving their language skills, and we will help them for language problems. In another study, the author stated that language barrier is not actually a barrier for science teaching in early childhood education. As I stated earlier, like it's like a different language for us. You should just focus to how they can explain themselves and how they can talk in their languages. In Turkey, researchers stated that teachers, classroom environment, students, and curriculum are the biggest barrier in teaching science. As you see, like we didn't say language for our minority groups. And the newest study, the researchers state that there is a need to explore how minorized, Syrian children's, linguistic and cultural resources can be employed in the science classroom. When I teaching science, how if I use these ones, then I will help them learn science and science contents easily. In this study, I just find some early childhood teachers and talk with them and also ask some questions. What do you think about and what kinds of issues and barriers and also your solutions while teaching science with their Syrian refugee children in your classroom? I use the case study because of this is the case. Like we are thinking there is some problem, but we don't know if it is a problem, and that's why I would like to look at this study as a case study, and I would like to take the teacher's direct opinion about this topic. I contacted with 58 teachers. As I expected, most of them are female, and 5 of them are male. You can see their demographic information in here. Maybe if I add the table, maybe you can see it easily. I would like to say some things about from here. Most of them teaching science to their Syrian children some less than 1 year, and also 1 to 2 years, and they are still teaching in Turkey. I used the interview and I asked the 9 semi-structured open-ended questions during this time. I used the content analysis in this study. I use the NVivo, which is really common program for qualitative studies. Here are some interesting data. I would like to say these ones. Most of the preschool teachers did not have any lessons during their teacher education program, and also in-service training program for how they can teach science or teach to their Syrian children. They don't have any experiences or any training, but we are expecting from them to teach science to these minority groups. So let's see what they see as issues and their solutions. Here are another more demographic information. They are teaching science mostly once a week because this is not about also for them. Most of the early childhood teachers don't spend time for science teaching in early childhood education. This is also for Turkish teachers, and also I work in United States, and most of the United States teachers also has the similar results for science teaching. Here are some another important things for improving your refugee children's science process skills. What are you doing? And they say mostly we use the hands-on activities, which is really important for young children, and they give the experiments because experiments is the visual learning, improve their visual learning skills, and they easily can see what's going on during the activities. And one of the teachers stated that by considering individual differences, we are trying to create a suitable environment for observation skills. Do you see, like, we are, even if we know there is, it's really hard to teach different language, but we are still trying. Maybe they can observe what's going on and they can join our activities. This is really important part also in this study. Like, I asked them what kinds of methods and techniques you are using while teaching science, and I give them all the methods and techniques here on the left side. These are the methods and techniques we are usually using in while teaching science, and here are the most used to least used, and you can see the how it looks like. Let's see what they use mostly when they are teaching science. In here, as you can see, the most used technique is experiment, they stated. And the least used techniques is, let's see, other options and no responses. I will say play. They just trying to teach science with play based technique. Here are the some issues, and they're trying to do some solutions while teaching to different language. They also stated, as we are knowing from our literature, communication is the barrier. Like, language issues is still problem as they see, and their solutions are showing and doing, like hands-on activities, using visual materials and explaining them and doing together, and most of them actively participating. Could you please come and play with us or do some experiment with us? And some of them use the translator in their school classroom. Like, if they need a more explanation, they are contacting with a person who knows Arabic and also Turkish, and the teacher explain in Turkish, and the guy, probably they don't know early childhood education, they just stay there for just helping, and the guy explain them to Arabic and do the activities together. And one of the teachers stated that our biggest problem is the language, as we know. For this reason, I repeat words a lot, and in the meantime, I try to introduce the materials to the children. This is horse, and when I see the horse, I know it's in Turkish, and probably you will know the in your language, but as easily I can understand, and the teacher talking about horse or animals, they are cognitively learning their science activities. As a result, the translating unfamiliar words into minority language is one of the solutions as a researchers. And as I see, our participants also used these solutions. In discussion section, I would like to discuss what I found. And as I see, language and communication skills are still problem for our early childhood teachers, but teachers, I don't want to say it's about only language and communication skills for science teaching. The biggest problem also, I see that they don't give more time to science. If they can give more time to science, maybe they can solve some of the problem for language and communicating skills. Frequency of teaching science shows that teachers give less time in teaching science. As literature, it is really parallel for my previous studies and also what I found in the literature. I want to finish in here, and you can see the more results and also more discussion on my final paper. I also add in here its name, and also if you have questions about this study and also refugee children, you can easily contact with me in here. I give you my email address, also phone number if you need more. And this paper also impressed, and when it's published, you can also check the more results and also more conclusion about it. Thank you so much for listening to me. I'm sorry if I passed some time. No, it's okay.